Yeah, that's a lot of trolls. So, this is actually kind of cool. Now, you guys are probably aware that there are some instances that they will have kind of like the physical layout of that you can actually kind of look at, like from where I'm at right here, just kind of on top. But a lot of times they don't bother with like putting like actual enemies there, except for the ones that would be inside the instance. You guys remember Encourage? You can fly over the Encourage raid area. Both of them, I believe. And you don't see any enemies there. Not really. Not the ones you would actually see in the raid. Now, these are not the ones that will actually be in the dungeon we're about to go through. But it's just kind of cool that they actually put them here. And you can actually be able to like come here and kind of just look at the layout of how this place is set up here. This is Zul'Farrak in Tanares, once known as the Jewel of Tanares. Okay, this was around back in vanilla. Now, this is not the same version that was in vanilla, and I cannot really comment on the vanilla version as I have no personal experience with it, and from what I understand, this place has changed quite a bit, to the point where it's hard to actually talk about it or reference it from that standpoint. I can only really be able to do so from the current version they have here, which was redone in Cataclysm for the patch where they were pushing a troll storyline that involved the Zandalari and the Gurubashi, and they were basically revamping certain areas like Zulaman, Zul'Gurub, and Zul'Farrak. Like basically a number of troll-centric areas got reworked and revamped to kind of go forward with this storyline. That's part of the point of the trailer of that patch of Rastakhan. Yes, Rastakhan in that one, trying to rally all the trolls to, reunite, and Vol'jin refuses because he refused to join with them against the Horde. So, yeah, these places, yeah, that was why these places got revamped, in terms of the in-story, in-lore reason. But it's just kind of cool that you can be able to actually look, go here and just kind of look around this area and see certain things, like you can see the snake motif around quite a bit. Definitely a Gurubashi influence in this area. That's a big pool of water there. Wonder what that's for. Anyways, but then you've got like things here that kind of like shows like. By the way, I apologize for the weird lag or frame drops I'm going through right now. There's something about this area in the game that just kind of causes the frame to go down. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I've turned the things down. It's still happening. I don't really think there's anything I can do about it. I'm sorry, guys. But, hey, we're at least doing a higher quality now than before, right? But what I like about these here is that these are basically, like, bedrooms for some of these trolls. Like, this is like, for some of them, this is where they sleep. I just think that's kind of a cool little design thing there. So, anyways, what do you guys say we actually go enter the actual dungeon instance now, shall we? I just want to kind of show this to you that we're basically flying over the actual layout of the dungeon, which is pretty cool. I wish more of the dungeons and raids allowed you to do that. Just kind of be able to kind of look at it from this vantage point and view. I just think it's cool. Welcome to Zul'Farrak. Now, there is a couple. There's something else I want you guys to keep in mind when it comes to what we're about to be going through here. Something I want to remind you about the trolls in general. Trolls treat death more casually than anything else I've ever seen. Like, I don't know if I can think of another race or people or what, or faction or that treats death or dying as, it's like, well, what an inconvenience. Like, it's an inconvenience to them. And I want to point that out because of this guy right here. This is Mazoga. It's his spirit because he's dead. And he has a couple things he wants us to help him with. It just kind of speaks to what I was talking about here. Take a good look, man. This is how it goes. Betrayal after betrayal. I backstab you for the sword, and then Chief Ukors go and backstab me even better for it. That's life, yeah? Or was. Now I know you don't got no love for Mazoga, but I know you're going in there anyway. Kill him for me, man. Spill more blood on the sand and give Chief Urko's Ukors sand scalp what everyone of the Sand's Fury deserve. A gory death. Maybe I'll leave some of my belongings without a curse before passing on if you do, yeah? See, this is what I'm talking about. He's just so casual about this, like, yep, man, I'm dead. Would you like to help me get revenge? Who... Imagine trying to, like, treat the idea of you dying in this kind of casual manner. Like, well, I died. You want to help me get revenge on who killed me? It's like, it's just, the idea of us being able to do that is just, like, such an odd idea, but I just find it so humorous and amusing that the trolls are this casual about dying. Not death itself, but themselves dying. There's another troll boss we'll actually fight in Pandaria where we kill him and he comes back immediately as his spirit and he's like, man, you killed me. Well, this is a bummer, but I'll be coming back at some point, man, and I'll be getting you later. Like, it's such a casual... I love it. I just love how casual they treat it. It's just so... I don't know anyone else that does that. The Sand Fury are a resilient tribe. They have survived sandstorms and years of other things, long covered by the sands. It would be foolish to assume that the only forces here are the trolls. We be taming the scarabs, breeding the Zul'Farrak, and raising I think he meant to say Silithus, the Zul'Farrak, and raising our dead to keep on fighting for all eternity as zombies. Uzulu, the right hand of Chief Ukur's Sand Scalp, be planning to use them to retake Tanares for the Sand Fury Empire. You best be killing the trolls in charge of this if you want to live, man. Then we got these couple of goblins over here.
Time is money, friend.
I heard that a troll in here, Hydromancer Vilratha, I think she was called, has come into the possession of a very rare, beautiful, and powerful piece of jewelry called the Tiara of the Deep. She uses it to control the powerful demigod, Gazrilla, whose very scales are said to crackle with energy. Do you know what all that means, Torin? I need it. Kill Vilratha, take the Tiara of the Deep, and kill Gazrilla for one of his scales. Bring them all back to me, pronto! I'll reward you handsomely.
Have a good one. What's up?
A good buddy of mine, Weagle Blackfuse, joined up with Sergeant Bly and his group of outcasts to invade Zul'Farrak, and claimed the legendary Zul'Farrak as their prize. Of course, they underestimated the Sand Fury tribe, and now they're all trapped to wait in execution to please their demigod Gazrilla. If you free him, I'll help you blast your way to Ukor's private chamber, where he keeps at least part of the blade. Kill his captors, Necrum, Kachur, and Shadow Priest Zaziz as revenge. I'll repay you.
Glad I could help.
Oh gosh, what is going on?
I'm out of range.
I really apologize for these weird lag frame rate drops. I have no idea why this is happening. This always seems to happen on my druid. Nope. I keep suspecting it's the, like, Night Fae aesthetic, but nope. By the way, you'll probably notice that we can actually mount here because this is an outdoor dungeon. In fact, let me go ahead and read the... In fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn auto loot off. Don't necessarily need to be looting all this stuff. Just kind of have a tendency to just do it automatically.
Lucky doos, you like? May your feet find good trails.
Zul'Farrak was once the shining Jewel of Tanares, ferociously protected by the cunning Sand Fury tribe. Despite the trolls' tenacity, this isolated group was forced to surrender much of its territory throughout history. Now it appears that Zul'Farrak's inhabitants are creating a horrific army of undead trolls to conquer the surrounding region. Other disturbing rumors tell of an ancient creature sleeping within the city. One that, if awakened, will rain death and destruction across Tanares.
I will, of course, comment on that when we get there. Because, well, let's just say I am quite the fan of what it's obviously parroting. So yeah, you'll see lots of... some of these can be kind of annoying or even nasty to deal with. Like, we got Shadowcasters and Witch Doctors. We've got these Shadowcasters with Demon Skin going to try and give himself armor and health regen. Yeah, dealing with the trash in here can be kind of annoying to go through and mess around. You know, I've done this dungeon a number of times leveling alts, and yeah. At times, sometimes you can kind of blaze through, no issues, but there are times where it's just like, oh gosh, you know. Especially if some people are kind of experiencing this dungeon for the first time, so. Now, usually we kind of do this kind of rotation here, where we start off going this way and kind of make our way through here. So we'll just go ahead and stick with that from my own personal experience. I think sometimes, have we actually... No, never mind. So yeah, we've you battle through the trash to get over to this area here. And you start to know some other things like that thing right there. That sand crawler. That's kind of important and relevant to the upcoming boss here. Because you go over here... I may actually be a tad bit lost here. Ah, that's right. We have to go this way. Alright, so, this first boss here. Antusul prefers his Sul'Farrak's basilisk strong and ruthless. He treats these scaled beasts like family, and he is known to strike down anyone, even fellow trolls who harm his precious children. Rather than give his opponents a proper burial, Ansulu allows the basilisk to feast on whoever dares cross him. So, he has, trash and these things to kind of attack us, and then he'll be able to cast things like basically like a shaman. Of course, he's got healing wave, he's got earth shock, he's got an earth grab totem, and he can be kind of nasty to deal with. I think
I need to target something first.
Lunch has arrived, my beautiful children. Tear them to pieces. He dropped his weapon. I'll take that for a transmog. Okay. So many scarabs. Lots of scarabs to deal with. And of course, remember, I was talking about how they really seem to really love and emphasize the undead. And of course, that is very much emphasized with this next boss right here. The Witch Doctor, Zumbra. The powerful Lord Bonsamdi watches over the spirits of the Dark Spear Trolls, but many of the Sand Fury tribe's fallen members are offered no such protection after death. These tortured spirits obey Zumbra, cruel witch doctor who uses his dark magic to force the city's dead into unending service. So yeah, this guy is, How dare you enter my sanctum?
Sands consume you.
So yeah, he keeps summoning a bunch of zombies. He just keeps summoning zombies to send wave after wave of them against you, because of course he does. Because, remember, these are shallow graves, and a lot of these are residents of this city that he decided to make his little undead zombie army, rather than let one Samdi have them. So, just kind of, yeah. Alright, so before we deal with the pyramid over here, let's go over here. Let's check out this pool that I mentioned earlier. So now we encounter some other different kinds of trash. We encounter some blood drinkers. Because remember, the Gurubashi and the, the Amani and the Zandalari and such, so the stuff with, Zul'Farrak was also getting redone, so of course there's some blood drinkers here. Alright, so right there, that's one of the other bosses right here. Hydromancer Belratha. Wait. That's funny, she's actually not even listed in the journal here. Huh. There, those guys, yeah. Wait, did I skip Feka? I think I did, actually. How did I skip him? Alright, actually, alright. We'll take care of the Hydromancer first before we go back. I somehow completely skipped him. So yeah, this is Hydromancer Valratha. Apparently she doesn't really have lore on her. She's part of the quest, obviously, though. So. There we go. And, of course, there's a bunch of other trash here because... Well, here's the thing. How important is a resource like this, a big pool of water? Pretty important. And yet they have dedicated it to a certain being known as Gazrilla. Yes, this is obviously a little in regards to Godzilla. Now, I am a long-time fan of Godzilla, okay? Almost to the point where I would call myself a fanboy, though I wouldn't go that far. But I've seen almost every Godzilla movie, so I'm a pretty big fan when it comes to Godzilla. So, needless to say, I thought this was a quite humorous gag. Legend has it that Gazrilla was an adored pet of the old gods, or even a demigod in her own right. Whatever the truth is, the Sand Fury Trolls have worshipped this monstrous hydra for thousands of years, ever wary of the beast's icy wrath. The Trolls will only rouse Gazrilla when they have plentiful sacrifices to sate the ravenous creature's appetite. So this is quite amusing. Part of the reason why this amuses me, I mentioned how I'm a Godzilla fan. I've seen various iterations of Godzilla. One of the versions I remember was the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon for Godzilla, which featured Godzuki. Gosh, I wish they had never come up with that. But the thing that I always found amusing and interesting was that they were able to summon Godzilla when they had a certain kind of device, they would push a button, it would send out a signal, and then Godzilla would emerge in the water to help them. Because remember, Godzilla was a good guy in this one, and I think some would say he was basically their Pokemon. that they could just summon at will to fight other, monsters or kaiju and such. They even tried this with the animated series that was supposed to be based off of the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie. which, believe it or not, was actually not that bad of an animated series in terms of getting to see another iteration of that of Zilla. I don't even call that thing Godzilla because it wasn't, but they had that take on some other different kinds of monsters and such. So at least the animated series offered some cool animated kaiju fights, but that was essentially it. Like, there was really nothing much else to that show. And as usual, they tried to do more human segments, which, when are people going to learn? Cut down on the human segments and actually just focus on Godzilla and the monsters. That's all people want to see. I get so tired of the emphasis on the human segments when that's not what anybody wants to see. Anyways, let's summon Gazrilla. Gong! Gazrilla! So yeah, it's a three-headed Hydra, so... So, of course, it can fire icicles, and then it has its slam. Let's see if it'll actually knock me back. That's still a... It's still just doing the icicles. Oh well. So I apologize that somehow I skipped a boss. I have no idea how I actually did that. I must have just completely bypassed him and just not even noticed him there. Oh, it's because he's in this area full of scarabs. There's another room of trash right there. There he is. Yeah, surrounded by tons and tons of scarabs. Feka the Martyr. Long ago, the martyr Feka was slain in the brutal war between the Karaji and the Trolls. Zul'Farrak will still stands because of his brave sacrifice. Even in death, he maintains a vigil over his beloved city. And it is said that the dozens of insectoid warriors who killed him were cursed to live as mindless scarabs, scuttling at the martyr's side. So yeah, that's why there's tons of scarabs here. So, he puts a plague on you, which is a nasty dot, and when he gets to a certain amount of health, he transforms, making him immune to damage for 15 seconds. So, yeah. Okay, now he's dealt with. By the way, take notice that a number of these are all bonus bosses here. Like, really, the only main bosses here are the ones at the pyramid and the final one. And there's the pyramid. What I've heard is kind of infamous. Executioner. So yeah, we've got these guys locked away in here. So once we let them out, though, that all spawns. Oh no, here they come. So they start running up. Yeah, tons of trash. They can start running up here, and they can get kind of bad and nasty here. Let's take them all down, though. You get those guys to spawn. These guys come down the pyramid. So, we've got Nekrum and Zaziz. Nekrum Gut Chewer has mysteriously lived well past his natural life. Okay, hold on. Okay, they've apparently aggroed them. But his decaying body remains strong enough to aid Zez's. Together these two trolls have gathered sacrifices to the mythic beast Gazrilla, who slumbers at the city's heart. Many troll followers eagerly await the terrifying creature's awakening, and they will do anything to see the ritual through. So yeah, Gut Chewer does, of course, Fever Plague, and, you know, because Cessus is a Shadow Priest doing Shadow Bolts, like Scream, Heal, yeah, you know, gotta make sure you kind of focus when it comes to this fight, so. I'll take that.
Yo!
Thanks, Hoofneeks. If you hadn't shown up, I'm sure we would have been dead meat. Now the only thing between us and the chief troll is that door yonder.
Could you blow up that door now?
Keep it real!
Okay, here I go.
Oh!
So off he goes to go blow that door open. There we go. So now...
Can I help you?
Thanks a lot. This is Sergeant Bly. Thanks a lot, Hoofneeks. We couldn't have made it without you. Oh, and if I had mentioned before something about repaying you for saving us, well, you can forget about it. That's it. I'm tired of helping you out. It's time we sell things on the battlefield.
For the Alliance.
What? How dare you say that to me? After all we've been through? Well, I didn't like you anyway. So yeah, then these guys turn on you. Alright, so anyways. Now to finally deal with the Chief, the Sand Fury.
I don't have the time.
This is one of the easy portions of this little gauntlet here. Once we get closer, it'll get a little nastier. Chief Ukor Sandscalp is obsessed with restoring his tribe to its former glory. He was raised on stories of a time when trolls lorded over their ancient lands without interference from goblins, gnomes, pirates, ogres, and other foreign interlopers. Sandscalp has called on his trusted comrade Ruzlu to help him begin a new chapter in Sand Fury history, in the only way their tribe knows how, with swift and blinding violence. So yeah, he can be kind of a nasty fight to deal with. You get closer up here, and you start to get attacked from the sides by some of these other things, like these abominations here will attack you when you enter. And then, of course, there are the Guardians, Vipers over here, which can be kind of nasty to deal with as well.
This desert be mine.
Alright, so he's got that cleave there. The white slash. Waiting to see if he's gonna do his frenzy. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Alright, so now let's go turn those quests in. Again, guys, I'm sorry about the frame rate. I doubt we're going to be encountering this in other places. Like when we go to the temple in the Eastern Kingdoms. I think it just has to do with this outdoor area out here. I think that's what's causing it. I don't know why, but apparently that might be it. Oh, apparently this guy is still making his way back, having to fight through all this trash here.
Time is money, friend.
I guess I'm just gonna escort this guy out. He wasn't expecting this much trash still being here in his way. I was kind of not bothering, but hey, if he's gonna have to run by and have to deal with them, then fine, let's go ahead and kill them all.
Closer.
Now, in case you guys are wondering, is this the condition you've been playing the game in? No. I haven't had this kind of frame rate issue in any of the Shadowlands content. It only started happening when I went here. I don't know why.
Targets.
Could also be because I'm on my druid, but I don't know how that would make sense. He's the only one of that group that made it out, because these guys.
Talk to me.
Wow, I knew I could count on you. Here's something for your troubles.
Hurry back. Hey, how you doing?
Do you have what I need? Excellent! This tiara will grant me complete control of the water around here, and the electrified scale will serve to power all the machines I need to use it, all to my advantage. You're gonna make me a very rich and powerful goblin. You can have this. It's nothing compared to what I'll have soon.
Keep it real.
He's gone? Did he have the sword? Nah, don't tell me. It don't matter no more. Mazorga don't care. I'm off now, man. Alright, hold on. Let me turn the other one first. You killed them? All of them? And you return alive? Take what you want off my body then. It's mostly curse-free. Mazorga promises. Don't matter no more. Mazorga don't care. I'm off now, man. The consequences of my actions await me. If you want to know more about what happened to Mazorga, do the questing in Tanares, and you'll see the story that kind of leads into this dungeon, where you even will get a quest that will have it conclude with go into the Zul'Farrak dungeon. Take whatever I was holding. I don't need it where I'm going. Farewell, Mazorga. Again, I just love the whole, hey, so guess what? I died. So, you want to help me get revenge before I move on? Just, what other race of people does that? Anyways, I'm done. I'm done emphasizing it. So, anyways, yeah, you can even see like the various troll masks are set up around this area. So there's the meeting stone. So, I believe the plan that I was coming up with here, when it came to trying to move on to the next set of dungeons, was going to be this one right here, which I will look to see if I can actually discuss how it used to be, going back to the days of vanilla, but I may have to just simply resort to the current version here, and I've done this one several times. Now this is not the only name, but next we'll be heading to what is labeled as the Temple of Atal Hakar. Stay tuned.